But I'm reading the
Oh, it's not 7 o'clock yet. I'll go to the Lavon.
reading
All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the March meeting of Delta Amateur Radio Club. Before we get started with everything, we're going to do the introduction. So if we can start right here at this table, Eric, if you could tell us your name and telephone.
It's Eric, AK4YD.
Pam, Kilo November 4, Sierra Lima November.
Janet, KN4,
Dan, KN4, FPJ.
Jim Sterling, KJ4, TCE.
Randall, KY4, NY.
Dave, AD4Q.
Dana, WI3B.
John, KO4ZQS.
Dane, M9PNA.
Joe, KP4FMC.
Mike, KP4FNZ.
Phil, KC5UU.
John, KF4BBH.
Michael Grady, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu Charlie Juliet, extra.
Witch, KA4WWW.
Ooh, okay. Steve, Kilo 4, Victor Papa Tango.
Ham, W4GMM.
Bill, Kilo Charlie 4, Sierra X-Ray Tango.
Bill, KK4, VPS.
Bob, KW, SUV. Richard, K4DXL. Rick, N0, KY. Barry, W5CJ.
Tom, AC5MR.
David, Whiskey 5, Delta Juliet.
Joe, WA4OBO. Jonathan, KO4WAQ.
Ron, KY400. Jeff, KX4LO.
Sean, KK4LST.
Scott, KM4PNU.
Terry, November 4, Golf Juliet.
Jim, KD4FUU. Paul, KY4MX.
Mike, KM4MRW.
Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Charlie Whiskey.
He's in my class.
Yeah.
And Mary Jean, Kilo Yankee 4, Foxtrot Bravo. So again, welcome everybody. It's exciting to see so many here. I don't know about you, but I was really glad to be driving here with it as light as it was outside. And so hopefully we don't have too much longer of this cold weather, and then it'll get to feel nicer outside. But don't forget, we've got some rosters over here if you haven't signed in already. So just initial by your name. If you see anything incorrect that needs to be fixed, just write it out beside it or let Paul know. We've got some handouts over there, so especially for those of you who are new to Delta Club or new to amateur radio, there's some information over there that may kind of help point you in the right direction. And of course, you can always tap somebody on the shoulder and we can get you in touch with the person who knows more. The tickets over there, don't forget, at our November meeting, we will have a drawing, and it's based on anybody can fill out one ticket for each time you attend a meeting, and just put your name and call sign, or at least just your call sign on there. Make sure we can read it, and then at the November meeting, we'll have some drawings for cool prizes and whatnot. All right. We will take a vote on the Secretary's minutes and Treasurer's.
I make a motion we accept the minutes and the Treasurer's report is published as far.
All right, so Ham, W4GMM made a motion to accept the Secretary's minutes and the Treasurer's report as published in Sparks. Dan, K4FBJ. Right, FBJ.
Right.
Second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. All right, the motion passes. All right, so if anybody looked in Sparks, there was some information about the VODA event a couple weeks ago, or I guess I don't know, back at the very end of February, ARRL, our division, announced some information that the W1AW portable is going to be coming to Tennessee. So it's going to be in Tennessee March 22nd through 28th. But Delta Club is signed up for Thursday, March 23rd from 5 p.m. until the next day, Friday, March 24th at 8 a.m. We don't have to have members on the entire time because obviously that's after most of us are going to be asleep. But it still would be cool if you want to get on a band and call out, get to call out the W1AW call for a little bit. It's a cool opportunity. You can get points. You do need to log your contacts into Logbook of the World. But it sounds like a pretty cool opportunity that, especially everybody who's been saying that they want more opportunities to get on the air as a club event kind of thing. This is a good opportunity to do that. So if you would like to sign up for that, from what I gathered, just about any band and any mode is accessible for this, as long as you can legally be on that band, unless you've got somebody there with you calling who can, which would allow you to call.
Not every band.
Well, except for more, is that what it's called? So again, nearly every band, except for those.
60 meters.
All right, so the only exceptions are 2200, 630, 60, 30, 17, and 12 meters. So, but everything else is open. And so just because there's so many opportunities to get on the air to use that call, I'm going to say as far as scheduling goes, if you are interested in all, come up here and sign up. And if you list the bands or the modes that you're interested in, then I'll try to get in there in the next few days and figure out a rough schedule. Because if not that many people sign up, I know we could probably go with just about any time that works for you. But if you've got a particular time in mind or a band, let us know. We can see what we can do to get as many members as we can on the air. There's a lot of information, so I'm going to do my best to answer any questions if you have them, but does anybody have any questions about this?
Is there a specific exchange we're supposed to do, similar to like Field Day when we do this?
So,
No.
No.
yeah, it gives a suggestion to maybe call CQ Voda, do the general exchange as you would as any other contact, and then it did have a comment that said something like maybe every so often kind of announce what Voda is, and we can try to get that information out there, but for the most part there's not a specific requirement except for just making sure that that contact is listed in Logbook of the World. I don't know if that helps. Good question. Any other questions?
One question. Would that, whoever's operating, say they're operating 2 meter, would they be able to check into a net with that call?
No, because it would have to be, I would assume, on a single sideband or another mode that's not on repeaters. Part of this is going to be a little over my head, y'all. It seemed like a good opportunity, and so I knew that some of you guys with better radios than me and all that would probably be interested in it. But from what I gather, though, no, it's not going to be anything where it could be contacts on a repeater. It would have to be radio to radio. So, again, good question. Anybody else? So I've got a lot more details are printed out in Sparks, so that's a great place to go. I've also printed out the information as well if you want to come up here and look at this. But again, I can try to decipher it and read through it real quick if you are interested. All right. So since you're done, do you want to give us a training update and VE?
Good evening. We had 5 tests tonight, 1 technician, 2 general, and 2 extra. The 2 extras, Bob O'Grady and Joe Duke, are here. Congratulations. Ryan McElfresh was one of the generals, and Dan Fleck was the other general. Dan's here. The technician was Savannah Capshaw, and Savannah and Michael Fresh are with Bartlett Fire. Huh? Memphis Fire? Oh, okay, Memphis Fire. But anyway, I was asking if there was something going on. They said no, it was just their bucket list. But anyway, congratulations. That was a good session. All 5 passed, and passed fairly easily, I think. Training, we had one general from the general class pass their upgraded their call Saturday in Texas. He took the class remotely from Texas because it was on Zoom. So that got another one in, and then our extra class, Bob was in the extra class, and we had one other gentleman finish the class. He hasn't taken it, but we had 2 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire that passed, and 1 in Chattanooga passed. So, and we've got probably 2 more. One that lives down in Mississippi will probably test next Monday night at CARA Club in Hernando. And the other, I'm trying to remember who the other one is now. But hopefully we'll get about 6 or 7 out of that class, which out of the 8 that finished. The tech class has started. One of the tech students was here. He had to leave. His daughter was in gymnastics, and he wanted to pick up some free pass tickets. But we have had 13 people sign up, and 3 of the people missed basically 2 of the classes, and it wasn't worth it, so we're down to 10. But it looks like an interesting. Terry taught the class last night, and there were a number of questions that came up, so that's good. And we will be finished before Free Fest. As a matter of fact, the one that Caleb that bought the tickets, I told him keep the stubs, and you'll be able to get your license before your call. You'll get your call sign before Free Fest, so put your call sign on the tickets. But anyway, it looks like we have a pretty good class going there, and hopefully all 10 will make it. Any questions? I do have Free Fest tickets here. If anybody wants to buy them, $5 for a sheet. 1 sheet of 6 tickets, or $20 for 5 sheets. I would encourage everybody to try to sell some tickets to somebody else other than you buy. Leave a couple of them blank and sell them to some people to generate more money for LaBonner Children's Hospital. Every single penny that is sold on the tickets goes to LaBonner Children's Hospital. There is no overhead cost for that. And we've got quite a few, the grand prize, there are 8 grand prize items.
And a lot of people want to support LaBonner. I was selling some tickets this morning, and I walked by, and he gave me $5. I said, "Here's your ticket." He said, "No, that's for LaBonner." So there are people out there that want to support LaBonner, and that's what it's all about.
An Apple iPad Pro 64 gigabyte iPad, a 43-inch HD TV, a Yaesu 2980R transceiver, a 2300 watt generator, an MFJ 259D antenna analyzer, the battery that we donated, the 20 amp hour Biono lithium-ion phosphate battery with charger, and a Yaesu FTM 200DR transceiver. And then there's, I know for door prizes, you have to be there to win. There's 2 Jason $25 gift cards. There's a Nukes $25 gift card. There is 9 other MFJ items, small items. I think some atomic clock, several atomic clocks, and then a couple of some insulators. And I'm not sure what else is. Well, oh, and then the main prize, MFJ. I don't have the 4225 MFJ MVP power supply is also in the grand prize. So it's got a. You don't have to be present to win the grand prizes, but you do have to be present to win the hourly prizes.
Sounds fair.
Thank you very much for selling those tickets. So speaking of Free Fest, it is April 8th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Bartlett Station Municipal Center. And so I know that they'll need help if you've got the Friday afternoon free. What time do they need help loading up?
4 o'clock, I believe.
At 4. So around 4 o'clock, if you're free on that Friday afternoon, consider heading on over there, and I'm sure they can put you to use helping the vendors who do need help to unload their gear and get set up.
Well, also set up, put cardboard down and paper down on the tables.
So there's plenty to do. Whether you feel like lifting or whether you don't feel like lifting, there's certainly plenty to do to help out to get this event set up so that way they can raise money for the honor. So but it sounds like a good day. There's going to be food there at the kitchen, and so the proceeds from the kitchen help to pay for the actual cost of putting everything together and running the facility and all that. So it is a great event that to take a couple extra bucks in your pocket. For one, to donate to Le Bonheur. I'm sure there's you can donate some more to tickets there by then. But if not, go and buy you a candy bar or a soda or a hamburger or something from the kitchen to help pay for that event, so that way they can keep putting that on.
And if you want to volunteer, volunteer.
And I know they need volunteers. They were asking about if there's anybody interested in working in the kitchen area. I think some folks may not be able to help in there this year. So is there anybody who might be interested in volunteering in the kitchen area? You wouldn't have to volunteer the whole day. You could do a couple hours, or he kind of breaks it up into shifts. But if you are interested, and it's not that hard, literally all we do is you can either take money and hand people their food, their items, or you would be kind of lining towards the back where, as they bring in the hamburgers and the hot dogs off the grill, then we would grab those. So if you are interested in that, come find me during the break or after the meeting, and I can get you more information on who to contact to sign up. So real quick, the Huntsville Ham Fest is, I know it's all the way out in August, but it's the time of the year where we can just start getting an idea on whether we want to charter a bus or not. So the Huntsville Ham Fest is the 18th. Is that?
18th or 19th month. Yeah,
it's the Saturday. I think it's the 18th, but I have to check in August. 19th. Thank you. So August 19th, and typically if we do rent the bus, we leave at like 6 o'clock.
6:30.
6:30 that morning, and we're typically back by 8 or so.
8.
And so we met at the Germantown Baptist Church, and then literally all you have to do, you can enjoy. In the past, Joe's done a great job of getting us breakfast biscuits. We've got snacks on the bus, and that snacks and drinks. The fee that you pay for the bus also includes your entryway ticket to get into Huntsville Ham Fest. And so it's nice because then you can go in and actually, after a full day of shopping or sitting through classes, it's nice to be able to go back and get to sleep on the ride home and not have to worry about staying awake to get home for several hours. So but I just need a show of hands of how many are interested. This is not locking you into it, but this kind of helps us determine what bus size to consider. So if you might, typically in the past, and this all depends on diesel and what they're charging, but I think in the past we typically paid around 75 or so.
90.
90?
Yeah.
So with diesel a lot higher, it'll be a little bit more, but gas is also higher right now too. So I'm sure it'll cost more to get down there in a car, but considering that, if you can raise your hand, if you might be interested in chartering the bus, show. Well, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate it. About 19, 20. All right, and I have one more announcement, and that is, so if you've already placed an order and paid and your size is in stock, or even if it's not in stock, if you've already paid, this doesn't go count for you because you're already going to be squared away. But if you are interested in purchasing a club polo that's embroidered with the Delta Club logo, your name, and your call sign, there are now more sizes available. So if you would like to be added into the order that is currently pending to get it with the rest of the order, we were able to do that, but I need to know to be able to update that order tomorrow so that way it can be finished. So if you would like to purchase a polo, I think they range from about 40 to 49, give or take. We've got some sheets up here with the exact amount. It honestly depends on the size, but there's every single size available in the men's sizes now, except for extra small and small. So I know a couple of you have requested extra large or 2X or even some other sizes that were not available, but they are available now. So if that was you and you want to go on and pay for it and sign up for it tonight, CGM, if you really want to go on and order that, but you did not bring that money with you, let me know, and that way I can we can get something kind of worked out. So we can go on and get that ordered. But if you do have the money and you can go on and pay, tonight's the night to do it, so that way we can get you in on this polo order. So does anybody have any questions about that? All right. Are there any other announcements? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh.
I don't need that. Everybody can hear me. Just a reminder, we got Armed Forces Day coming up in May. It'll be the Saturday before Mother's Day. I believe it's the 13th, but out at Millington at the Fire Training Academy Center. We'll be operating from about 7 in the morning till about 5 in the afternoon. We'll be one of 21, 22 military stations that will be on that weekend. We will be transmitting on military frequencies, and the hams will answer us on the ham bands. We'll be running a split operation. And this is a opportunity for hams to talk to military stations. We'll have, I think, Camp Baxter in Guam is going to be on the air, the Yorktown, Midway, Annapolis, Pentagon, Andrews Air Force Base, and several others. I don't have the entire list with me, but and it's a time for the military to realize that in a pinch they can operate with hams. So it'll be we need some operators. If you're interested, have never been on HF before, you can certainly we'll put you out there and give you a microphone and a radio, let you go to town and have a lot of fun. So that's what's coming up, and that's sponsored by the Mars Group. We're also participating in an exercise next week with the Canadian Armed Forces. The military, in their infinite wisdom, dropped HF many years ago. Well, guess what? They finally figured out, hey, that's a pretty good thing. So we're going to be training with the Canadians. They all their little man pack radios put out 25 watts, so they're wanting states HAMS and Mars members and other military organizations all over the United States to get on and contact with their make contacts with their people so they can have some experience on HF. So we're active. If anybody's interested in Mars, come see me. I'll be happy to give you the information.
All right, thank you, Ham. Any questions for Ham?
What day was the Canadian? Is that this Saturday for the Canadian?
The 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
23rd, 24th, and 25th.
If you haven't signed up, then you won't be on the roster. So, but you can listen in. I don't know what I haven't. I just got the information today. I hadn't had a chance to look at it, so I don't know what frequencies they're going to be looking at and so forth and so on.
Sounds good.
Still out right there. Milton.
We're in different places.
All right. Well, normally I would remind you that we've got a Skywar meeting later this month, but I'm going to pause on that because you're going to learn more about the Skywar, upcoming Skywar trainings and NWS and everything here in a little bit. So let's see. Is there anything else before we take a short break? All right, so we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and so it's 7:28, so 7:38 we'll get started back up to learn about the National Weather Service.